welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a little minute since I recorded, but I have to be honest, this YouTube stuff, like you literally have to make time to be ready to make your video mentally, physically. So if I'm having a day where it's like I'm exhausted, I don't feel like recording because I feel like I will project that energy onto you all. And for me, I don't know about y'all, but when I'm exhausted, tired, frustrated, or whatever mentally, you can see it and you can hear it in my voice and things like that. So I just kind of took a minute so I can get myself together because I did not want y'all to be like, oh, what's wrong with her, But anyway, I'm back. So thank you for, waiting for me to come back and make a video. How have you guys been doing? During all this mess, all this pandemic, rioting, protesting, how are y'all panning out? My family's doing pretty good. Talking to the kids, making sure that their mental is good because that's important. Make sure you're talking to your kids about what's going on in the world because it's a lot at one time. Our mothers and grandmothers experience these things, and we've experienced them too, like in doses, I feel like. And all of it at one time for our children, this generation of children, it's just a lot. So make sure you talk to your kids. And if they're not right, let them talk to someone else. And make sure that you do that. That's very important. So my last video, I kind of talked to y'all about where it all started and, how I started, feeling like God was with me, or when I realized that I had God right with me. Me falling out the window. But needless to say, it was just continual after that. My mom was a teen mom. I'm talking like true teen mom. She gave birth to me when she was 15 years old. And as easy as it could have been for her to let my granny raise me, because a lot of my peers, us 80s babies, a lot of the grandmothers raised, that generation. But I always applaud my mom because she stuck it out. She didn't pawn me off on my granny on either side, daddy or mama's side. She stuck it out. So I always applaud her for that because a lot of my peers was raised by their grannies or grandmothers or whatever, we call them. But my mom didn't do that. She was very, very young and she just stuck it out and raised me. I feel like we grew up together. And I think that's why we're so close the way we are because, literally when I was 15, she was 30. And I just think about when I was 30, true enough, I had children, but I just feel like when you're 30, you're still, like you got your stuff together, but you're still young. And so when I would tell my friends and stuff, like I said in the previous video, that's my mama, they would be like, no way. But I'm proud that I have that testimony because when I got challenged with being a teen mom, I knew exactly what to do because I had a great model to, reference. I got pregnant with Jordan at 18 and I gave birth to her when I turned 19 years old. And my goal in life was to break the generational curse that was on my family, particularly the women in my family. And for generations, no one got married. They had kids, they were in long-term relationships, but no one got married. My granny never married, and at the time, my mom had never married. She's married now, but at the time, she had never married. And so when I did, I ended up getting pregnant with my high school sweetheart, and I end up, saying, hey, look, we can't just be long-term forever. We have to break this curse. Break this generational curse because, his mom had never been married. So it was important for us. Although we were very young and we didn't know what the heck we were doing, we set out to achieve a goal that nobody in our families had done. So got married after, I think Jordan was like 6 months because Jordan was born in September. So it was like, Jordan was like 6 months old. And then we ended up having Janiyah 22 months later, mind your business. But they're 22 months apart. But I felt like even though I was a teen mom, I was 19, that's still considered a teenager. So I was a teen mom. I felt like I had a better shot at doing a good job and trying to, change things for my children and show them how a better way, even better than what my mom has showed me, and it just continues to get better and better and better. You're only as good as you want to be. You're only as smart as you want to be, and so I was really focused on being a parent. I was focused on being a wife at that young age. Unfortunately, it did not work out. Not so much to where there were some ill things that happened because there was immaturity, there was selfishness involved. There's a lot of factors involved when you get married so young and you have babies so young and you're not really completely done growing mentally, you're not completely done growing emotionally. So young folks, take your time, wait, be selfish, have fun, enjoy life, get all of you out of the way. So whenever you do decide to grow your family or get married or lock things down with someone, you don't have to worry about being selfish and inconsiderate and all those things because you've gotten it out of the way. I feel like that's one thing. If I had to say I'm getting married that young and having children that young, it is hard to break through. Well, come on in. It's hard to break through that because you're not mentally prepared for what's about to happen. And so not only did I have Jordan at 19, 22 months later, I had Janiyah. So you're talking, it's 21, 2 kids, married. It was just a lot. I think back on that time, and granted, it made me who I am today. And I wouldn't change it because I feel like it gave me, all the know-how. But I didn't get to experience a lot of things. I had to drop out of college because I was so dedicated to, my family at the time. So when we decided to part ways, it was more of we just needed to go and grow and figure things out and learn ourselves and be better people for ourselves. And that for me, I'm okay with. I sleep well at night knowing that I needed to do that. We needed to do that. Me and my ex-husband needed to do that to be better parents. And to be honest with you all, we became better parents after we divorced than we ever were married. We're better parents today because we didn't try to force it and stick it out and just make things happen just for the sake of making things happen. The goal was to stay married and break the generational curse, and I feel like we fought the good fight, but it just didn't, it didn't work out. I ended up having my son Terrell after, going through the divorce, still young, y'all, still extremely young, going through divorce. I got pregnant, had jumped into a situation, got pregnant with my son DJ, who's now in heaven. He would have been 14. He just had a birthday. And then right after that, here comes Terrell. So I just feel like I was just so busy just doing stuff until I ran into my now husband. We knew each other from childhood, as y'all saw in the other videos. And I think that's when I really became focused on what's important, what I need to do, And you say, well, what took you so long? Trying to wrap my head around all this stuff that happened to me in such a small time frame. It was just boom, 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 boom. And my friends, no kids, not married, no divorces, they're just going out, having fun, enjoying life. And again, if you find yourself in a situation like that, you need to make sure that you go through the proper channels to become better. But if you can avoid it, I would say take your time and grow so you can be better at it once it comes your way. I don't take anything away from teen moms because look at me. But, going back and reflecting, it's just like, wow, how did I get through that? How did I do that? It took a lot of consistency. It took a lot of dedication. It took a lot of trial and error, a lot of tears. a lot of stuff for me to get through that, but I just feel like today, my oldest daughter is about to be 18 years old. I'm 36. I'll be 37 this year. And I look at her and I'm proud of myself. We did a good job. Myself, my ex-husband, my current husband, we teamed up together and we raised these kids. And we got this together, we got this done. And people always ask me, how y'all gel so well? And we're gonna have a video about that. And hopefully I can get those two fellas on a video. That would be so cool. I'm gonna have to work on that. They coexist. They're cool with each other. I wouldn't say they're like best friends or anything, but they definitely coexist. They show love to each other. They respect each other. My son's dad, he's an older guy, so he kind of just does his own thing. Nothing against him, but he just, he kind of does his own thing. He takes care of my son, and and he's a good father to my son. That's all that matters. But we had to go through some things to get to where we are today, and I just encourage any woman, any teenager, any young adult, if you're in a situation where you had a baby young and it's just not working out for whatever reason, whoever fault it is, regardless if it's him doing the wrong, you doing the wrong, or a little bit of both, y'all really need to just think about one thing and one thing only, and that's the child. And say, hey, how can we be better for this kid? And the hard part about it is being real and saying, we're toxic. I love and hate you in 5 minutes apart. Or, I want to kill you 1 minute and the next minute I'll kill somebody behind you. You got to really evaluate that relationship and really think about how important it is to stay together. Because if you really dig deep, you're not apart. You're not apart. You're not in a relationship, but you're not apart because you have this child that you need to be great for and that other person needs to be great for. And God will send somebody more of your equal to help you with that. And they say, well, I don't want, my child to have a stepfather. My children's stepfather is the best thing that ever happened to me, and they benefit from it. They benefit from it in so many ways. It wasn't easy, and we had a rough patch trying to blend the family and try to, blend our parenting skills, trying to, say, hey, I don't agree with this. Hey, well, I don't agree with this. Well, what you got going over there? Well, what you got? And we just, year after year after year after year, it just got better and better and better. And like I said, I'm going to do another video about that and how we coexist and how we blended our family. We don't have 2 birthday parties. We don't have 2 Christmases. We don't have 2 anything. We have one because we consider ourselves all one big family. We respect each other. We don't cross the line. And we communicate. Hello. Communicate. It's not like, oh, I'll have to answer to him. He not my kid's daddy, or even the father. Well, I don't know. That's your situation. I don't got to tell him nothing. When you set the foundation for that, I feel like they follow suit. Even fellas, even if it's you, if you're, not with your kid's mother and y'all started young and, it just didn't work out, set the foundation. Always show respect to your kid's other parent, because if you respect them, your partner, spouse, husband, wife will respect them too. But if you talk crap about them, if you, just say ugly things about them, you're building character. You're building character. And your partner, your spouse, is going to be like, well, this is a foul person. Or I don't like the way he treats you. I don't like the way she talked to you. Or who she thinks she is, or who he think he is. You, ma'am and sir, have to set that tone. You have to set that tone. And also with your children. We were so young. My ex-mother-in-law was heavily involved with everything that we had going on. And, that played a role in a lot of things. My mom was hands-off pretty much, because my mom is the type, she kind of let me learn for myself. And then when I'm ready to come and say, okay, mama, she's like, okay, tell me what you got. But that's another thing. I leaned on my ex-mother-in-law a lot, and I let her have a lot of say in what was happening during that time. And again, you learn, you live and you learn, and you fix things that you didn't do right the first time. So, young parents, pay attention, be real with yourself, understand what's happening. Like, this relationship is sour, or this ain't working, but you want to force it because you worried about what people gonna think, or you want to prove people wrong. My part of my reasoning was I wanted to break a generational curse. I wanted to show, my family that it could be done. But guess what? I still did. I still showed my family that it could be done. Because like I said, we are still a family. It's just a unique one. It's not the traditional family. But I still broke a generational curse because in most situations, when two young people have a kid, either the daddy split or nowadays the mama split and it's one parent, and a stepfather without the real biological parent involved. So we had to figure out a way to make that still work. So my dad wasn't always in my life. My dad's family, his sisters, my aunts kept me relevant. They kept me in the family. They kept me at the family events and the summers and the spring breaks and stuff. And I always commend my aunts for that, because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't know my dad's family. And I'm thick with them, just the way I am with my mom's family. I don't pick. They're the same. But in so many families, especially when we have our children so young, it's like the parent of, like, for example, my mom would be the sayer or the doer and the controller. And I just didn't want that for myself. I needed to control my own life because I decided to be a teen mom and get married early and do those things. So if you're in that situation, if you are a teen mom or if you were a teen mom, even a young adult 20 plus, make sure you're making the right decision for you and your children or child, because they will benefit from it. You can coexist with someone that you've been with in the past and not have any ill feelings for them, have any secret feelings, romantic feelings. You got to get over that stuff. You got to move on, and you have to realize what's best. And when you do that, it benefits every single person. It benefits every single party. I thought somebody was coming out. It benefits every single party. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but think about it. Think about it. They say, okay, we don't get along. We argue every day. Can he still be a good father if I'm not around? Or can she still be a good mother if I'm not in the house? Coexist. Hey, look, these are the rules. We're going to live close. This is how if we meet somebody, we're going to introduce. We're going to, hey, get feedback. We're going to do blase, and make up a plan and stick to that plan. And whoever you bring into that situation, you talk to that person. You be honest with that person. You tell that person, hey, this is my life. This is what I have going on, And that's kind of what I did with my husband. I said, hey, look, I have 2 fathers for my 3 children. 2 of them have a dad, and my son has a dad. And this is how I do things. And I was upfront, I was honest, and I told the truth. And there was never an issue. There was never an issue. I kid you not, I have people ask me all the time. That people see us on pictures together. But remember, we were kids. We've been doing this for a long time. Jordan's turning 18. And my second marriage was definitely more, I guess, me being mentally stable and me being aware of what I was getting myself into and what I was doing, and not doing it for a reason or to break a generational curse or to show people that look what I can do or look what I did. It was meaningful to me to do it because it was heartfelt, and every intentions were good. I think it's safe to say on both sides. But when you just can't get it together, don't be afraid to part ways and join forces. if that makes any sense. Um, Part ways and join forces and watch how it works for you. Um, it's not easy. You got all the other challenges in life already that you're going to have to deal with raising children and being young, trying to figure out life and get your system together. System, your day to day. That's what I mean when I say system, because it's definitely a system. And if you don't have a system, if you don't have a ritual, something you do all the time, you're gonna find that your life is chaotic. And being so young and having those children the way I had them back to back, before I was 25, I think I had 3 children. And it's like, what? Some 25-year-olds are still living with their parents. And stay with your parents if you can, if it works, if it's working out, stay. But that wasn't my story. I was out there. I jumped off the porch early, as they say. And I had to find my system. I had to get myself together. My children had a routine. I had to learn. And guess where all that came from? My mama. I watched her do it with 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy, very young. But my mom had even less resources than I had, you know. And if she could do it back then in the 80s and 90s with nothing, shoes. I was able to kill the scene, you know, and continue to grow year after year after year and become better and be better and have more. But I couldn't have got that foundation. I couldn't have got that know-how had my mom never went through it, I feel like. Because that's what I tug on. When I'm struggling to make a decision, when I'm struggling with anything, I think about my mom and say, hey, how will she handle this? Thank God I still have her here. My granny played a big role in our lives too. Because remember, my mom was so young. My granny had to be there. So for a long time, I called my granny mama. I call both of them mama. Because my granny was always supportive of my mom. And she always looked out for my mom because my mom was a go-getter. And my granny used to always say, as long as you help yourself, I'm going to help you. And the same thing with my mom. I tried to make it to where my mom didn't have to help me because I knew what her struggles were. And I'm literally feeling myself getting emotional because I was so dead set on not being a burden to my mother, not having her to have to come out her pocket for anything for me and my children or anything that I had going on. When I was going through that rough patch, I would say, shoots, between 2006 and 2008, yeah, those 2 years, those years were rough. They were rough. And 2006, I had a son, buried a son. 2007, I had another son, you know, and it was just one thing after another, abusive relationship. It was a lot. And I just tried not to be a burden to my mama because I felt like, I know she didn't sign up for this because she gave me the tools. She showed me. She led by example. She didn't let nobody, you know, do her any kind of way. She didn't let nothing happen to us. She didn't let, and I dared not let anything happen to me and my children. So that little 2-year span really changed the game for me because I had to get my ish together quick because I was going down a rabbit hole, y'all. And so I feel like once I had my snap, I was so young, had so much time to get it together. So don't think that, oh, it's over. I got 3 kids. I'm single. Ain't nobody going to want me because I was told that. Lies. All lies. Okay? People are attracted to who you are and what you bring to the table. And I knew that I had my 3 kids. So I knew I came with my children, but I also came with me, and I was beneficial. So I never considered my children as baggage. I never considered myself, you know, oh, woe is me, ain't nobody gonna want me. I just chose to get off the scene because I wanted to focus on me and mine. But I feel like because I was not looking and I wasn't, feeling sorry for myself, that's how I was able to run into my husband, because I was a clear mind and I was, just chilling. And what you getting into? Oh, shoot, nothing. We want to pick up my son. Oh, how's your son? Oh, he 9 months old. Oh, dang, you got, okay, how's your dog? Okay, boom, boom, boom. One thing led to another, hanging out, what you need. Hey, remember so-and-so? Yeah, okay. Week after week, month after month, and here we are 12 years later. So don't count yourself out. Don't say, well, I'm just going to be single and raise my kids by myself, because, no. Focus on you. Focus on your children. Put God first. And guess what? That completion is coming. And regardless of what age, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever, however old you were, when you jumped out there and you made your children, love those kids, teach them, talk to them, communicate with them, and grow with them. Grow with them. I see myself and my children every single day. I look at Jordan all the time, and I'm so proud. I look at Janiyah and Terrell, and I'm so proud, because we are products of teen pregnancy, broken homes, and they're not going to have that story because of the way my mom and myself paid for them. We paved the way for them. So use it as an advantage. You always use your shortcomings and your disadvantages as an advantage, because it can be turned around just like that. Just like it turned bad, it can turn good. But it's up to you and how you go about it, and how you make the challenge better. I never sat there. I just kept going and going and going. And I set the tone for my kids' fathers. Hey, you're going to have to get it together. Hey, this is what you're going to have to do. This is what I'm doing. Are you on or are you not? And I feel like because I was so drilled in and focused, they respected me for it. And it's like, oh, I can't even be mad because she got her stuff together. She's figuring it out. She's not there yet, but she's striving. She's going. And I don't have no issues, I don't. Daughter turning 18, my other daughter turning 16, and my son just turned 13. They almost out the door. And I'm honestly grateful, because even though it was a unique situation, it worked. There were bumps. It wasn't always good. There was not always support. They went through their selfish phase. I went through my selfish phase, but ultimately it always ended up working itself out. So don't give up, y'all. Keep fighting. Teen moms, you got this. You can do it. Get yourself together. Love yourself. Pamper yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your children, because the good thing about it is, I'm just saying, when you're young still, your children are going to be gone. So, think about it. Think about all the good things that's going to come out of it once you have already, the baby's here. Oh, well, I'm 19. Oh, I'm 20. I can go to school, but it's going to be more challenging, but I got this. Oh, well, I want to go move out of town, but I'm having some issues with my kid's father or my kid's mother because I don't want to move out of state. Well, talk to them. See if they want to come and find a job. Not saying y'all got to be together, but see how it works for everybody. And you never know. You never know. You don't have to be with that person if you're better off separate. Trust me. Believe me. So I just wanted to come to you all and just share that little snippet about, how I became a teen mom, and how my mom being a teen mom affected me, and how I kind of overcame that. I'll share in another video of some challenges through that period where we were kind of going through our growing pains. It's some funny stories. It's some I can't believe that stories that I want to bring to y'all, because I have to share it so you can see that almost anything can happen, good or bad, and you can overcome it, right? So stay tuned. I got more to share with you all. Wait till y'all hear the next story. Okay? Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Tell somebody. You know a teen mother? You know somebody that was a teen mother? share my YouTube channel with them, because the stories that I'm going to tell are going to be so influential. They're going to be so eye-opening. You know, it could be something that you're currently going through. So stay tuned in, stay locked in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys. Bye. And I will